Welcome back. Now, next, I want to propose some approaches to especially our course material. What I would start with is making sure that you know the terminology involved. Many textbooks, ours included, provide a nice vocabulary summary for each chapter. Make most of it, both before and after the studying. Some textbooks also bold the key terms where they are first introduced. This is your cue that these might be important to memorize. The next thing that I recommend you to do is to review the learning outcomes that have been listed. Again, our textbooks are particularly good about this and provide clearly defined learning points that you should get out of the text. You might notice that I like to provide these to you also at the beginning of a new module too. These two previous approaches help you to make connections with what you already know, even before you have done any actual studying of the chapter content. Please be strategic and take a moment to reflect the chapter topic before you start studying. What do you already know? What are you interested to learn about this theme? Does it relate to you or your personal life or someone that you know in any way? Then it is time to study the actual material. Finally, both immediately and after studying and in the following days after, review what you have learned. Many students find review questions useful. One thing I do when I study is to write potential exam and test questions as I go through the material. Then test yourself if you remember to answer to those. If not, these are a great tool to identify where did you get lost and go back there. I have provided some note-taking quizzes in our learning module. You might consider taking them if you think that this is an area that you could benefit from. But next, let's look at some examples. I would like you to look at your notes again. If you have a chance to do so, please also check out how your classmate or a friend takes notes. Are these different? What's different? How about what's similar? You might notice that some use colors. These would often be visual learners, or doodles. Others may prefer listing keywords. Do you use full sentences rather than keywords? Some, then again, may prefer to write their notes in a form of a story. One method that is commonly used for note-taking is known as Cornell Method, developed by an education professor, Walter Pogge, in 1940s. This method provides a system where you take an entire lecture's or sections or chapters worth of notes on a single sheet of paper. The idea is that you divide the page into two columns. The note-taking column is usually on the right side of the page and is about twice the size of the questions or keywords column, which is typically on the left. Note-taking column is filled during the class and contains the actual study material in a condensed format. This can be key points, bullet points, diagrams, and charts. It is typically abbreviated notes where you have paraphrased what the instructor says. When finished, the notes page should provide an outline of what was covered. Do not forget to leave a little space between the topics. Questions or keywords column is completed soon after the class. It contains cues of the actual material in the notes area. These can be, for example, potential exam questions, main ideas or names of the key people, as well as vocabulary and important terms. This area is used for reviewing and studying. It provides a quick summary of the actual material. The area at the very bottom of the page is for a summary of the material. It is to be written after the class and provides a brief summary that highlights the main points in the notes area. This space is used if needed to find information later. And of course, we should have at the very top of the page the key identifying details of the class, such as name, date, topic. Have you tried this approach? Maybe you want to give it a chance if you have not done before. Another approach that has been popular for a while now, since 90s, is called mind mapping. I assume that many of you are familiar with this. This is a very visual method for organizing information. Mind maps are hierarchical and show relationships among the pieces as well as the information as the whole. It is created starting from the center of the page, and then associated representations of ideas directly related to this are added to. While major ideas connect directly to the central concept, other ideas branch out from these major ideas. So, we will end this video here and finish these videos by looking at test taking.